Every year, before the grayest days of late winter set in, the world erupts in noise. Crowds pack the streets, colorful floats roll past, and we drown out the routine of daily life with the massive, roaring distraction of Carnival. Then, overnight, the music stops. The masks hit the pavement, and a sudden, thoughtful silence settles over the morning. You step out into the morning commute, and you notice something jarring. All around you, executives in tailored suits, mechanics, schoolchildren on the bus, are walking through their busy routines with a dark smudge of dirt deliberately pressed onto their foreheads. We live in a culture that spends billions of dollars to hide aging, conceal vulnerability, and delay death. Why do millions of people suddenly choose to wear a highly visible signature of their own mortality right between their eyes? That mark strips away every social hierarchy we build for ourselves. When walking up the aisle, your bank account and job title mean nothing. You are brought face to face with the exact same vulnerability as the person standing right next to you. The physical material of the ash carries its own heavy irony. It originates from the dried, crushed remains of the bright green palm branches that people waved in celebration the year before. Those past moments of praise and human ego are quite literally set on fire. The vibrant leaves shrivel rapidly under the heat until all the color burns away, leaving behind a simple, honest gray powder. The application is intimate and direct. A priest presses his thumb into the charcoal and draws a rough cross onto your skin. As the thumb applies the pressure, you hear the sobering words from the book of Genesis. Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Wearing this is an intentional psychological disruption. It forces you to look in the mirror and acknowledge that your time here is a temporary breath. Long before it was attached to a modern calendar, throwing dust over one's head was the ancient world's universal language. From biblical prophets in the desert to the rulers of empires, sitting in ashes was the unmistakable signal of profound grief and repentance. By the Middle Ages, the early church took this raw, ancient impulse and structured it. They formalized the imposition of ashes into a ceremonial doorway, a specific ritual designed to initiate a new season of reflection. The goal of this season relies on a concept called metanoia. It translates to a complete turning around of the mind, halting the forward momentum of a distracted life and actively reversing your gaze inward. The 40 days that follow this reversal are known as Lent, meaning springtime. It is a period of necessary dormancy designed specifically for growth. Ash Wednesday is merely the starting gun. The mark on the forehead signals your entrance into a 40-day wilderness meant to test the limits of the human heart. To survive this wilderness, the tradition relies on 3 precise disciplines. The first is prayer, the essential dialogue of the desert. The primary objective shifts from speaking to listening within the absolute silence of the wilderness. The second pillar is fasting. By voluntarily denying the body its immediate cravings, saying a deliberate no to the stomach, you train yourself to say yes to the deeper needs of the spirit. The fast extends far beyond the kitchen table. It requires starving the ego. You fast from petty arguments, you fast from unnecessary words, and cut out endless digital noise. The third pillar brings the other 2 into reality: almsgiving. Any personal sacrifice made in the dark is entirely hollow if it doesn't eventually motivate you to serve the people around you. These 40 days serve as a rigorous training ground to rehabilitate the human will. Stripping away self-importance creates the space needed for the divine to take control. Yet for all its visibility in the morning, the ritual contains a built-in paradox. By nightfall, you stand alone at your bathroom sink and quietly wash the dark smudge away. This fulfills a strict biblical mandate to fast without looking somber. The tradition prioritizes a private change within the chest over a performative display on the skin. Even the physical environment of the church mirrors this inward retreat. The bright, ornate statues and intricate crosses are hidden by heavy purple veils, stripping the room of visual comfort and forcing the focus entirely internal. Acknowledging our fragility is the prerequisite for grace. We locate the cracks in the foundation so they can eventually be filled. This brings us to the foundational doctrine of the tradition. Humanity is fragile. Our bodies will eventually fail, but we are dust that has been intentionally, lovingly breathed upon by the Creator. Ash Wednesday marks the necessary planting of a seed in the dark soil of mortality. This period of wilderness precedes the radiant bloom of Easter morning.